Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. Today we're going to be doing, as promised for this Saturday, the Battlin Boxer deck profile. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this deck, mainly because this deck is just so good at stopping the Tier 1 deck. I've actually playtested this version a lot of times against Dragon Rulers, and my matchup is very favorable in Game 1 and possibly Game 2, depending on what you draw and what they side. But let's get on with the deck. Another thing that I would like to say about this deck, actually, before I get on with the deck profile, is that I tried to make everything in here as low rarity as possible, just to show you guys how cheap this deck is. So let's get on with the deck profile. First, we're going to be running 3 Battlin Boxer Switch Hitter. Switch Hitter is going to be able to get all your Battlin Boxer monsters to the field. He's an instant Yoki. He's your junk synchron of the deck, and getting Yoki to the field is crucial. So he's really good. Next, we're going to be running 3 Battlin Boxer Glassjaws. Now, Glassjaw serves a dual purpose in here. First of all, it's a 2000 beater if you ever need be. Second effect, if he's destroyed, he combos up really well with, if he's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, he adds a Battlin Boxer from your deck to your hand. Now, keep in mind that you can use Glassjaw's effect if he's sent to the graveyard with Yoki's effect. So that really pairs up nice if you use Switch Hitter to special summon Glassjaw and then exceed there. You send the Switch Hitter first, and then with the second detachment, you send the Glassjaw. It gets you back the necessary pieces to go into another Yoki. Overall, Glassjaw is a very good card, and even when he is attacked, his effect to being destroyed also is beneficial for his own second effect as well. Next, we're going to be running 3 Battlin Boxer Headgear. Headgear is pretty good for setting up your Glassjaw plays, actually, and it helps with your Switch Hitters. So overall, this trio is extremely good when putting together. His effect to not be destroyed by battle when he's in attack position is used often. But this deck has this card has a lot of good synergy with Glassjaw and also with Counterpunch. Next, we're going to be doing 3 Battlin Boxer Spar. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people only want to run 2, but I want Yoki as fast as possible. And sometimes skipping my battle phase is not a problem for me, as long as I can go into Yoki, which is this boss monster of the deck. Last of the Battlin Boxers is going to be running 2 Counterpunch. Now, 3 Counterpunch seem very obsessive. 2 is just at that perfect point for when you want to get over stuff, and it has a lot of synergy with the deck when sending cards to the graveyard. Counterpunch overall is the Kalut of the deck. No attack does hurt, but on the same hand, you shouldn't be summoning it anyways. Extra monsters are going to be 2 Blaster. Blaster for that instant spot removal, just to get over those annoying cards. Fiendish Chain seems to really hurt this Battlin Boxer deck, so I made Blaster a priority of getting over Fiendish Chains and all of that other pussy back row like Bottomless and Compulse and Phoenix Wingling Blast. And last is 2 Effect Veiler. Obviously, we know what Effect Veiler does in here. For spells, we're going to be running 3 Pot of Duality. Getting consistency is crucial, and Pot of Duality really adds to that consistency thing. Sometimes I might not be able to special summon, but hey, getting those necessary pieces are immediate. And most of the time, actually, Yoki will be sitting on the field by himself, and you don't have time to special summon. So Pot of Duality really adds that consistency if you're getting all your spells and traps and just those necessary pieces to the field. Next, 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. I shouldn't have to explain about that. Foolish Burial to send Glassjaw's effect so you can activate its effect, or to send Counterpunch to set up some good plays. Even Blaster if you ever need it. 1 Reinforcements of the Army. 1 Dark Hole. Now for traps, we're going to get on to the main aspect of the deck. And yes, I main board 3 of them. 3 Vanity's Emptiness, because this card has so much sight energy with Yoki. Just sitting on this card, Yoki alone, typically gives you the game against Dragon Rulers. Overall, Vanity's Emptiness is an extremely nasty card in this deck, mainly because the only time we do special summon is for Yoki, and when we're not special summoning, we're attacking and controlling the board. Vanity's Emptiness gives us that key aspect for stopping those Tier 1 decks. 2 Fiendish Chain. I mean, it really shouldn't be anything else after that. 2 Dimensional Prison. 2 Mirror Force. 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, 1 Solemn, 1 Compulse, and that 1 copy of Safe Zone. Now, Safe Zone really hasn't been so great at 2, so that's the reason why I dropped it down to 1 and then added the 3rd Emptiness. But when you do get your Safe Zone plays off, it is amazing. You obviously don't have to use Safe Zone, it's just another good card to have in this deck. Next, for extra, 3 Yoki. the center star main card of the deck. Summoning him is crucial. You want him first turn, and the consistency that this deck has, you should be able to get him first turn almost every turn. Now, granted, there is some times where you don't have the best of hands, but that's Battlin boxers in general. Getting YuGiOh is crucial. One Maestro, just in case. All this stuff really is, I mean, just in case. Diamond Direwolf, Abyss Dweller, Cowboy, Black Ship of Corn, Blade Armor, Steel Swarm Roach, Lava Volchain. You never really go in. I never really win Sam, but I have a feeling that once I do, it's going to be very, very memorable. One Evil Swarm Ouroboros, one Ally Jessica Catastra, and one Adrius. That basically sums up the extra deck. Let's go on to the sideboard. Now, Triple Maxi. I'm not fond of Maxi anymore. Just the ability to draw cards and get those necessary pieces is the reason why this card made the cut in here. Ironically, I don't really like siding this against Dragon Rulers, which is one of the biggest pluses that this deck has, stopping your opponent from going into those major plays, or even forcing your opponent into those major plays. But if you want to side it against Dragon Rulers, you're more than welcome to. It's really good against mermails, 6 samurais, just a lot of rogue. Any deck that really loves to special summon Maxi basically stops him in their tracks. And most of the time, they do need to special summon, because getting over Yoke requires a lot of resources. Next to Flying Sea. Constellars are probably this deck's biggest thorn in the side, and Flying Sea really stops them by giving them a monster that prevents them from X-Seed summoning, and the only way to get over Flying Sea is to turn it into attack and ram it into one of their other monsters, since they don't run any tribute cards. 2 Fencing Fire Ferret, just extra back row destruction. That extra copy of Effect Veiler, extra copy of Mystical Space Typhoon, Triple Kaiser Coliseum. Now, this is one of those cards I side against Dragon Rulers, mainly because it prevents them from going into their bigger plays. Normally our only monster on the field is Yoki, so this card really shuts down a lot of those special summon spammerific decks, which is the biggest reason why Maxi doesn't see a lot of play, because this card is normally up, if not Vanity's Emptiness, which is overall just pretty hard to get over in itself. And then the last card is Triple Ghosted Match. Just a really good card against any deck that runs a lot of attributes. Thank you guys for watching another segment of The Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.